The primary focus for me during my current training cycle has been building my foot strength. And foot strength wasn't something I really ever gave much thought to. I overlooked it, and I think many other people overlook it as well. Foot strength is really important though. When we're running or when we're doing any sort of strength movement with our feet planted on the ground, it all starts with having strong feet and good balance. And I simply didn't have that. Traditional shoes are poorly designed and don't encourage foot strength. I wore traditional running shoes, these New Balance 880s that I would wear for a lot of my runs these last couple of years. They have a drop from the heel down to the toe, so that puts your foot in an unnatural position. They also have a very narrow toe box, which puts my foot in a very strange position. It's harder to land properly when my toes are condensed and crunched up, compared to if my toes are allowed to be wider, and that makes my foot weaker. So when I was wearing these shoes, I pretty much would just shove my feet in them, and I would run on my feet, not with my feet. I've really changed how I've thought about this, and I've tried to run more with my feet, using my toes, using my entire foot, building up a stronger foot, stronger arch. I've had, over these last few years, I've done a lot of running. I'm new to running, took it up in my late 30s after losing about 75 pounds. These last few years, I've run a marathon. I've done an Ironman 70.3. I've run 3 half marathons. I've run almost 2,000 miles these last 3 years. For the most part, things went pretty well, but I've had a couple of just lingering, niggling injuries. One was patella tendonitis in my left knee. It never really held me back too much. I never really felt it when I was running. But at other points in the day, when I was going upstairs and things, I would feel a little bit of just, a little minor pain in my left patella tendon. And the other issue was with my kind of right ankle. So it really, my gait and my posture was all kinds of messed up. I think my right ankle issue goes back many years. I actually had plantar fasciitis in my right foot, going back, 5 or 6 years when I was still, overweight, never really properly healed. And I think it's all related to my weak feet, and when I was overweight, I developed a gait that worked for me, kind of like a waddle, supporting all the weight as I moved. I didn't run much. I wasn't very athletic. Now I'm much lighter, I'm much stronger, I'm much more athletic. So I've tried to evolve my running gait, as I've gone. I'm training right now for an Ironman race coming up in 78 days on November the 5th, Ironman Florida. And then following that, I'm going to run the Miami Marathon in the end of January 2023. So I've got a lot of running to do, and I didn't feel like I was going to hold up to the demands of training and these races if I kept doing what I was doing. So how have I fixed this? Well, the first thing I really worked on was fixing my stride and landing on my forefoot instead of on my heel, landing under my center of gravity. Landing under my center of gravity with a bent knee on my forefoot, using my entire foot, trying to land with my toes, right? Running with my feet, not just on my feet. And the problem with traditional shoes is they encourage heel striking because there's all the thick cushioning is here in the heel. So when you land, especially when I was overweight, I learned to land on the heel, land on the thick part of the cushioning, right? Well, that's not advantageous for having proper gait and developing strong feet. So I've switched my running to the Ultra Touring 5 shoes. These are a more barefoot style shoe. They have zero drop from the heel to the toe, which mimics what it's like when we stand on the ground barefoot. And they also have a much wider toe box which you can see when you compare them with the New Balance and on the Ultra Touring 5. You just see how much wider the Ultra's toe box is. And what that means is my toes can spread out, and when I'm running, I can land more on my entire foot and use my toes to, help support my foot, help support my weight, kind of how our feet are meant to work when we're barefoot. Now, those Ultra Touring 5s are not minimalist shoes. They have a thick cushion on them, which I find to be advantageous. There's a lot of concrete to run on around here in South Florida, so I've liked having all that cushioning on them. I did buy a pair of more minimalist shoes that I was walking and strength training in. I've evolved a bit away from those as I've been on my feet so much. I enjoy all the cushioning, especially when I'm walking on all these hard surfaces. But I'm still strength training in the more minimalist shoes, and I'll explain why at the end of this. But the minimalist shoes are a good option, I think, if you're on softer surfaces, grass, flat dirt or trails like that. It's definitely closer to being barefoot. I've done some other things, including these toe spreaders. I had a viral tweet about my toe spreaders, but I found they've helped to spread out my toes, right? And combined with the barefoot style shoes. Also done a lot of barefoot walking. I go for a barefoot walk every morning, to encourage kind of, this more natural way of landing with my feet and building up that foot strength. So the toe spreaders have helped. I've been rolling my feet out a lot. I recently got this foot rubs ball, which, rolling my foot out on this feels really good. I was using a golf ball and also a foam roller. I find that helps. I've been stretching the tendons on the top of my foot. Those tend to get shortened based upon what I was doing in the past. So I've been stretching those. I'll put a link in the bottom in the description to the stretching exercise I've been doing. I found that's been helpful. I've really focused my awareness on my foot strike. When I'm running, when I'm walking, it's something that is in my awareness, and that's just an important thing, right? So I'll be out running, and my primary focus a lot of the times is to just make sure that I am landing on my feet properly with strong feet under my center of gravity, and I found that has helped a lot. When I've been strength training, I've done a lot of single leg exercises and then also really focused on my feet while I'm doing these exercises. So like single legged squats and lunges, single leg deadlifts, suitcase walking, hip flexion, where I have a kettlebell on one side, and then I raise my leg up and balance on the other foot for a few seconds, right? And then while I'm doing this, I focus on my feet. So while I'm doing a lunge, for example, I focus landing on the foot, making sure I'm landing properly on it toward the outside of it, my toes spread apart. So I'm getting, good landing on that foot, and it's helped my ankle strength. It's helped my, just my legs all the way up through my lower half of my body. And the results so far have been great. I haven't felt anything out of the ordinary in my left knee for a few months now. I will experience some minor soreness, and that's kind of normal, going upstairs and stuff like that after a long run. My knees will be a little sore, but never any pain or anything like that. It's been a few months since I felt my left patella tendon. My right ankle, still not perfect, but it is much improved. I never notice anything while I'm running. Like occasionally after runs, I'll notice like a dull pain or some clicking in it, but it's still something I'm working on, and I'm pretty confident in it, and I feel really strong on my feet. I feel confident that I can keep on all this running I'm doing. I'm up over 20 miles every week as I'm training for Ironman Florida. There's going to be a marathon at the end of that race, and then I am going to do 12 weeks of training for the Miami Marathon through to the end of January. And thanks to these changes, thanks to my improved foot strength, I feel confident in my ability to finish all this training and these races and stay healthy. It's been an important change I've made. There's been a lot of people that have helped me along with this. The one I would say is Austin Keith at Barefoot Will on Twitter. His information about barefoot walking and proper gait has been super helpful. So I definitely recommend checking out his content. It's been helpful, and I think this is a good thing for everyone to really kind of work on, because like I said, traditional shoes with a lot of padding and a significant drop from the heel to the toe, narrow toe box, they are not serving you and your overall strength and balance. So this is something that fixing this problem has helped me in a lot of ways in all my athletic endeavors that involve being on my feet, particularly with running and with strength training. It's been hugely beneficial for me already, and I can really see how running with proper form, with stronger feet, can help to unlock some of my running potential, and will help me run faster in the future, kind of the more that I dig into this and the further I go with this. So it's something that I recommend for everybody. If anybody has any questions or you want to share your own experiences with this sort of thing, please drop a comment below. I would love to hear from you, and thanks for watching.